Hello guys, this is Navin Reddy. So this video is on OSPF in Packet Tracer. So for this we have created a network in which we have a machine and a router. So we have two routers. In total we have three networks. So this network is my 192.168.1.0. This network is 10.0.0.0, and this network is 192.168.2.0. Now again I have already configured the network, so you can see its IP configuration is already set. This machine IP is already set, okay, and I have set the router's fast Ethernet port configured and serial port configured. Okay, now same for this network. So same for this router. As we can see, this is enabled and this is enabled. Now whenever you work with OSPF, what we need to do is, again a question arises why we require OSPF is because OSPF provides you the shortest path, right? So for this you have to type some commands. Okay, now commands, you can type commands by going to the global configuration mode, and to go into global configuration mode is like a router config mode. So here you have to type some OSPF commands. Now to type OSPF commands is not that difficult, so we'll see some of the commands now. So first you have to configure router. So to configure or to provide OSPF, we require to type a command called as router OSPF, and you have to provide the process ID. So process ID is 1, let's suppose, and then after this you need to specify the network. So network, it's 192.168.1.0, and here you have to provide something called as wildcard. So you can see in RIP, when you work with RIP it works with class full addressing. That's why we don't need to specify the class or subnet mask. But in OSPF works with class less, in which you have to provide your mask. Now here we don't provide mask, we provide something called as wildcards. Okay, you can see we have wildcard bits. Okay, so wildcard bits are like inverse or complements of your mask. So wildcard will be to 0.0.0.255, and then you have to provide the area ID, which is area 0. Okay, now then we have to provide the network, which is 10.0.0.0, and then here it will be 0.255.255.255 and area again 0. Once you complete this, you have to say exit. Now after this, after doing this, you have to just, now this is configured. Now you have to configure. Oh, I have done some mistakes. So this is not, we have to change something. Now we have to change. We have done some mistake. So go to your setting. Since we have made mistake, erase your configuration. Yeah, again you will do the same command. So we have to say conf t. Again you will type the same command, which is router OSPF, it's 1, and then it's network. Now network, we are working with router 1, right? So this network knows about 192.168.2.0. Earlier I mentioned 1.0, that was a mistake. So 0.0.0.255, and area is 0, and next network is network 10.0.0.0, it will be area 0. Oh, I missed wildcard. So 0.255.255.255. Okay, that's it. Then you have to say exit. Now you have to do the same thing for router 0. So go to your CLI and go to configuration mode, and here you have to type a command called as router. It's OSPF 1. Then you have to provide network. It knows about 192.168.1.0 with your wildcards at 00.255 and area 0. Second network it knows about is 10.0.0.0 and your mask is 0.255. Wildcard is 255.255 and it will be area 0. Okay, now you can see that these two routers are configured. Okay, now to check, we can pick a packet from this machine to this machine, so it's successful, right? Now what the amazing part about this network is, what we can do is let's move this network downside. So let me just create some space here. Okay, now what if I create one more router here? So if I create one more router here and let me connect this. So if I connect this router in this way and this way, now this is my 10 network. Okay, so this is my this is my 10 network. This is let me just give the copy paste. Now I want this to be a network 10. This will I create as network 11, and this will be my network 12. Okay, now you have to configure this router, right? Again, you have to focus here. Clock is on, clock is here, clock is upside. So for this you have to configure serial 3/0. So go to your configuration mode 3/0, and this is 11.10.0.2. mask is this. You have to set the clock. We will set clock as 64 and say on. Okay, now you have to configure. Now you have to configure this router. Configuration serial 2/0, and it will be 11.10.0.3 mask, and in this side we don't have a clock, so clock not set and on. So in this side, when you talk about this serial 3/0, this is 0.2, that is 0.3. Okay, so now I don't know why my packet tracer is not responding, doing malfunctioning, I guess. Yeah, now on this, so we have to focus on this port now, 3/0 and 3/0. This side we have clock, so serial 3/0. This is 12.10.0.2, and this is your mask. Since we have a clock, we will set clock as 64 and then say on. Okay, now there is something wrong with my packet tracer. Yeah. Then on this side, go to configuration mode and serial 3/0 and 0.3 and say on, and then close. Now you can see we have configured this, but we have to make this router work. Okay, so this router should specify the number of IPs it knows. So go to CLI, go to configuration mode and say router OSPF 1. The network knows is two networks. So the network 1, it's not 1, it's 12.0.0.0 and 0.0.255, because we are doing the class A, right? So, and you have to mention the area. Second network node is about 11. Okay, so 11. That's it. Now again, since stop behaving like Windows now. Close it. Okay. Now in this, you have to we have to add one more network here, right? So again, router OSPF. Since this router knows about one more network now, that is 11. So 11. So network is 11.0.0.0, and it's 0.0.0 dot not 0, it's 0.255.255.255, and you have to specify area 0. That's it. Now you have to do the same thing for, I guess OSPF is configured in the router. That's why it's taking so much of time. So yeah, it's configured. Now close. Hit close, buddy. You're wasting my time, packet tracer. Yeah. So in this again you have to configure. So exit and router OSPF 1. As this router also knows about one more network, which is 12.0.0.0. It's 0.255.255.255 area 0. Right, that's it. Once you complete all this, you just have to close your router now. Okay, it's done. Now as you can see, if you connect from this machine to this router, it's still working, right? It's because we have configured it. From this machine to this router, it's working. Now what if I use simulation mode? So from simulation mode, from this machine to this machine, if you capture, so captured, again shows it is using the shortest path, right? We have two paths. We can either go from this route also. So what if I disable this link? If I disable this link, that means this link is your serial 2/0. Let me go to configuration, and in serial 2/0, let me just disable it. Okay, port is off now. Now in this case, let me get one more packet from this machine to this machine. Since this port is disabled, let me see the path. So from this machine to this machine, now it going upwards because this link is disabled, right? So this is how it finds the shortest path. So OSPF is much better than your RIP. So this is what about OSPF. So if you have any doubts, please comment, and please do subscribe for further videos. Thank you so much.